Mic check 1 2 1 2. Okay, we lost the stream. Had a complete glitch in the matrix. Don't know what happened. Everybody's hitting me, but I'm firing up the entire system all over again, and then waiting on them to come in. All right, Chris is here.
I'm gonna jump out of the other one.
Yeah, jump out of the other one, come to this one,
Oh man.
and then hopefully the audience will pull back in, and they'll get
Yeah, they're
notified of
coming.
this one. Hey, Miss Carrington. I don't know what happened on the last stream, Miss Carrington. You just had a
It's
glitch in
because
the
you didn't
window.
have your lights on.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Hey,
Go flip
Snuggle.
the switch. Yeah, go flip the switch. You gotta flip the switch, and it gave me time to put on my uniform, so it's cool.
Testing, testing, 1 2 3.
Yeah, you
Miss
loud and clear.
Carrington, can you hear us?
What's wrong with that?
All right, cool. So we coming back in, coming back in. I want to, well, especially I want West to come in, and we can jump back on what what's the name was talking about.
Shahid.
Shahid.
Shahid was first, and then go West.
No. I said no.
Okay, good. Okay. I told them, Shan, we see your whole screen.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Oh, right, Jay. Yeah. Because everyone's talking about him. That's it.
Does West know how to click on the link?
Probably
Call
got
to
a
make
link.
sure.
You probably got
It ain't
Say
nothing
what?
but a link.
That's okay. I'm gonna still call West because you gotta. I do tech support for old people. Did you see the link in the group chat? All right. I mean, I do. I tell my employees that all the time. I can't find how to refresh the screen. I'm like, look at the very top of your web browser. You see the arrow pointing left? I mean, good night.
I didn't know they were live.
Who is that? Who has company over?
No,
Oh my
she
God.
just.
No, that's Colin. Remember he said that's his aunt.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Who has company over?
Oh, my bad.
So
All
let
right.
me
Well, go ahead,
refresh.
Shahid. So Shahid, what you're saying is, we can just jump back into it. So Shahid, your issue was Angela
Did
Simmons'
you?
message is what exactly?
So I get where you come from, where you appreciate the message, but a lot of things like that, like this for me, now I wouldn't compare it to Sierra's prayer, but when some messages you have to be very clear and concise with. It can't be performative, because with this message being performative, it the audience, they don't know how to receive it, because it only says she's only speaking of when she finds her husband.
Mm-hmm.
So the message to the broader audience is, yes, this is what I'm going to do when I find my husband. You should too. However, the
Right.
psychology and how they're going to receive that, they're going to receive it as the caliber of man that she's able to acquire. Not all of the women in her audience is able to acquire that level of man that she will be able to acquire. She's, like I said, she's rubbing shoulders with musicians, entertainers, actors, ball players, CEOs and whatnot of different companies. So the message comes off as, yeah, when I get one of these type men again, I'll jump up and down and bark like a dog for him. Now, the women that are in her audience, you won't be able to get a ball player or entertainer or musician or whatnot. You know what I mean? So like with those type of performative messages, it's like, yeah, it's cool. It's a cool message, but it doesn't say, hey, ladies, it's time to buckle down and stop fucking with the Pookies and Ray Rays. And when we get a nice quality man, whether he make $60,000 a year or $250,000 a year, it's time to buckle down and just submit. It doesn't deliver that message.
Okay. So it's two things here. I don't never like to go against you because we We part of the dark side. So two things. One, Angela never had a high value dude like that. She never had the ball player. She had the nigga that she was fucking with was a kind of like he didn't have much of nothing. He was a street nigga.
But
So
she
that's number
also had
one.
Romeo.
Yeah, but he was a kid.
But
That's
still,
when they were real young. No,
Romeo.
no, no. But that's the thing about it. They didn't really date. They it didn't happen. She turned him down.
But
But
no,
that
what I'm saying is she still had access to get curved by little Romeo.
no, I got you. I got you. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. But the reality is now. So I'm gonna talk about the reality, and then I'm gonna talk about the perception, which is the perception part. I could probably agree with if what I say is if what I say you agree with. The reality is she's not gonna date. She's not gonna get no millionaire. She's not gonna get no ball player. None of them want these women. That's the thing about it in Hollywood. That none of them want the 50 Cent runs through them, but then the girl he lands, nobody knows. You see what I'm saying? It's so the Vivica Foxes, the shit. You can name all of them. You know what I'm saying? Outside of Layla Rashawn, who 25 years ago landed Antoine Fuqua, they don't get these Hollywood guys. They don't get none of the NFL players. Nobody in the NBA wants them. And so, especially when they got the bag and they did all this other kind of stuff, and especially when they have children, they don't want them like that. And so that's the reality of it, right? So Angela Simmons is likely not going to just pop up one day with an ASAP Rocky. It's not gonna happen unless she becomes a billionaire. Then somebody might consider it, and they have to be the same age, 33 and 33, like he is with Rihanna. Outside of that, it ain't happening. Now, if what you're saying is the reality don't matter because the perception is that women, huh?
Right. It does
If the
not.
reality doesn't matter, because women ain't calculated like that. They're not looking at it like, oh yeah, you know what? I realize that that you know these young black popular women or whatever ain't really getting nobody. They can't keep nobody, and they're all single when you look at them across the board. Lala Anthony couldn't keep Carmelo Anthony, but she's out here telling women that they need to be fucking working on themselves, which is, you know what I'm saying? Or, Govan. I mean, all of them across the board. So if the reality doesn't matter because the perception is that these young women think that she's going to land a baller, which none of them really do, but that's what they still think. If that's what you're saying, I guess I'm gonna have to agree
Yeah, it
because
don't. It does
because it
not.
doesn't matter what really happens if they all think, oh well, if I become an Angela Simmons and I get my bag together and I'm gonna be able to get me a baller, but maybe I won't get my bag together, but I'm gonna still be looking for that type of guy. But if I get a regular dude, I ain't hopping on no 1 foot.
Right.
If I marry a nigga that drives a damn Amazon delivery truck, I'm not hopping on no foot for him, but I will hop on a foot for a guy that Angela Simmons would get, even though Angela Simmons ain't getting him.
But they don't know
And
that though.
yeah, they don't know that. Okay, then I agree with you. I agree with you on the perception side. So
Because it's like you don't even, her name is still Angela Simmons. Her image is I don't know what her image is today, but people are going off the perception of who she used to be. And she used to be one of the most sought after women in that industry when she was younger. Her name still carries a little weight. So, and then you look at like, you just look at just the different women that do end up with you got it like a Lori Harvey and whoever they get these one-offs and these random guys, not random guys, he ain't random.
I'm about to say because Lori Harvey ain't no damn Angela Simmons.
But they don't know. That's what I'm saying. They don't know that. Like it's when
Hopefully
you
they do. See, I guess what I'm saying is I'm hoping these women got enough sense to realize the difference between a 34-year-old Angela Simmons and a 23-year-old Lori Harvey.
they
You
don't
know what I'm
count.
saying?
It's Angela Simmons. They don't. It's just, that's all they process. It's Angela Simmons. They don't have. That's why they make poor decisions, because they don't have proper discernment. It's like they just, you know what I mean?
All right. Go ahead. Is Wes back? I know Wes wanted to tap in.
He back like that gray bear. Well, he came back. He was doing something nice for himself.
Yeah, no. I get what you're saying, Shahid. The thought I was going to have was, this reminds me of the conversation that we were having about Sierra and her message. And my whole thing is that what I appreciate with Angela is that it's a gateway. So yeah, she could have just came straight out and gave some really hard truth, but that wouldn't have been as popular. She has a huge following, but she's not as young. Those young girls ain't checking for her like that. But her putting this message out is so captivating and so polarizing that it will travel, and it can be the gateway to a greater conversation that she can have with people potentially, hopefully, which is to say, listen, whoever your guy is, whatever man it is, this is what that message means, regardless of the status or regardless of the guy that you catch. And that's the part that, and am I correct, Shan? Is that what you get from it as well?
Wait, say it again. Say that last part. I missed it.
Oh, you ain't listening to me. It's like anytime
I'm trying to make sure that we don't get shut down again. That's all.
Anytime the Federation speak, he just go on. He just put the thing on mute. I get it.
Yep.
No, I'm saying that that. What am I saying? I don't know what I'm saying.
You lost your point. You and Robert rolling together. Let me jump in here and kind of close this particular topic out so we can get to our two questions.
I'm reading the comments on that post, and ain't nobody. They looking at it as a comedy skit. It's just all laughs. That's all that's just receiving.
That's funny. So my comments on the post, I thought it was quite kind of funny. Because I don't know any woman that's literally going to do that, and I also don't know any man, nor do I associate with any men that are performing in that particular manner, in as a husband, or a soon to be husband. That's all I'll say on that. I did think that is a great topic, only because I realize that some women believe that they are more than. And that their money should be able to dictate the type of man that they should get, and it doesn't. The type of man that you get is dictated by your character, by your femininity, and by your cooperation with that particular man. That's how you're going to get the man that you deserve. If you don't fit in any of those categories, cooperative, feminine. And femininity is not just wearing red lipstick, pink lipstick, getting your fingernails done, and putting on, makeup and having, dresses. That's not femininity. That's being feminine. That's a characteristic of it. That's like a branch on the tree, right? But that's not the bark. That's not the roots of femininity. We're not going to talk about that. I'm not a femininity coach, but I can tell you for a fact that that's not what it is. My thoughts on submission. And I'm probably going to come under fire for this. I don't really care. I think that submission is listening without thought. Submission is listening without thought. Because if you look at how in the Bible, Christ was submitted to God, the only time he had an issue with what God told him to do is when he was about to die. Everything else that Christ was doing, he did it without thought. It was automatic. It was, God said, do it. I'm going to do it. If you look at Adam, right? And let's go to the beginning of the Bible. God gave Adam the role of naming animals, of naming his wife and tilling the land and working. He didn't have a thought, oh, you know what, God? I don't think I want to, put the grape trees, and I don't think I want to name the animals. That wasn't the conversation. You said it, I'm going to do it. That's what I believe true submission is, right? When you do it but you deny the ego of yourself to come up, because so many times we allow our ego and our pride to rise in us, and that's what causes the dissension between men and women, and sometimes between men and men, because men need to submit to to leadership too, but that's not this particular conversation. With that being said, I want to just take a quick detour because we do want to make sure that we give you guys an opportunity to hear and feedback. And if you have, by all means, if you wanted to jump in this conversation, this is Ask a Black Man Anything. Here's the time for you to jump in on the conversation. But in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to switch to our questions. We had 2 questions that were emailed to us. I keep saying mail. Y'all don't judge me. The first question is, actually, I'm going to do the second question first. And the second question is from Marcia. It says, what things should I begin to practice to attract the man? And the reason why I'm doing this is because it literally just ties us back to the subject. And I know a lot of women have no idea what they should do or what they should be to practice the behaviors of being in a relationship. So here's a question. What things should I do to begin practicing, or what things should I begin practicing to attract a man that will allow me to support and care for my family? And that's Marcia from I don't even know where she's from, but it doesn't even matter. But fellas, you see the question?
Let me give the full question because I couldn't put the whole thing. Let me run over the email because her question was actually longer. She gave a little bit of context.
Oh, is that the one that had the 3 kids?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got that.
Yeah,
I got that
I'll
too.
read it too.
Go ahead.
You got it. You can read it if you got it.
No, go ahead. Go. You got it.
Oh, okay.
You got to pull it up.
So
Quick answer. Squats.
She asks, I am a single mother of 3 children. They are 4 years old, 3 years old, and 2 years old. I'm a single mother of 3 small children, 4, 3, and 2. Wait, hold on. No, I'm sorry. This is from Quanisha. Hold on one second. That was from Quanisha. This is the question. This is the question from this girl. I am a single Black mom and have been single for 2 years. I work hard and would like to be a woman who's well kept. What things should I begin practicing to attract a man that will allow me to support him and care for the family without the hassle of having to go to work? And it was really from a chick named Desiree, but I got the names mixed up. So it's Desiree from Texas. But the question is, I am a single Black mom and I've been single for 2 years, fellas. I work hard every day. Oh my God. And I would like to be a woman who's just well kept. I'm sick of this damn workforce shit. What things should I begin practicing to attract a man that will allow me to support him and what he does so I can care for the family and I don't have to work?
Go onto my YouTube page, get this book, develop some core values, right? That's have some values, right? Which means that you you have some things that you stand for. And let me say this, because people think that when they say, well, I won't say people. In general, women say that because I have a preference, that's a value. A preference is something that you prefer. A standard is a level of or quality or level of life that you have to have. A preference you don't have to have. For example, if I went out tomorrow and bought a Bentley, I prefer that it's black and that it has like either a white leather interior or maybe a caramel interior. A standard is that if I'm going to buy a Bentley, then I need to make sure that I have the money to pay for it. That's a standard. There's a difference. Preference, like saw a video, I know it's 12 years old. Some women like, oh, I gotta have a man that's over 6 feet. That's a preference. You're not required to have that. So that's one. You need to kill your preferences. That's number one. Something that you need to begin practicing. Kill your preferences and have a standard across the board that applies to all men. Standard for me, you're not going to ask me back-to-back questions. And every time you do it, I'm going to point it out. And I'm going to highlight the fact that you continue to ask me back-to-back questions. It doesn't matter if you're 5'7", 5'8", or 6'2", or 5 feet tall. That's not what you're going to do. The next thing is be more cooperative. Learn to practice cooperation. Let it be a part of your daily life, because cooperative is not combative. I'm going to shut up because I can go on for a while right there. Be way less combative. Way less combative. All right. Anybody else? Because if not, I'm gonna hammer this one all the way home.
Well, nah, for one, I mean, if you're a single black mom and you've been single for 2 years and you basically just saying, I'm tired of working, ain't that's she's speaking to this chick, Desiree, she's speaking to that burnout that you was talking about earlier.
Sure
She's
is.
burnt out. This is a burnt out single mom that Chris was talking about an hour ago. And she's basically
That's
saying,
that burnout.
she says, I'm sick of working. I want to, what do I need to do to attract a man that's going to come and take care of me? I don't want to work no more. I want him to take care of me. I want him to take care of somebody else's kid. And I don't want to work.
This is not a real question. This is real.
Well, no, it's okay. I'm embellishing the question. I'll read it to you word for word.
I'm talking about she got 3 toddlers, right?
No. So there were like 2 women.
Oh, okay.
We get a lot of questions are coming into us every week now. Okay, so here's the question that she wrote. She says, I am a single black mom and I have been single for 2 years. I work hard and would like I work hard and would like to be a woman who's well kept. What things should I begin practicing to attract a man that will allow me to support him and care for my family without the hassle of work? So I'm putting hot sauce.
That's cool. So first off, you got to answer the why. Like, I would say, like, why do you deserve this? Like, that's just the immediate. You got to look yourself in the mirror and have a conversation with yourself and say, like, okay. Like, for example, Chris's example for the Bentley. Yeah, you want the black. You got to have the money. Why do you need a Bentley? Why do you deserve a Bentley? Like, are you a Bentley type of guy? You know what I mean? Like,
right. Do I have to have it?
Yeah, so it's just like, well, I mean, to have it, that's another thing. That's subjective, but it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, just this, it's not that easy. Like, to just go, I'm gonna practice this, and then all of a sudden,
I know what she should do. I know what a single woman I know what a single mom who's been single for 2 years who want to be well kept and just stay at home and have a man take care of her. A kid by another man should do.
Yeah,
I know. I know what she should do.
She need to stand on one foot, hop, and bark like a dog.
I was gonna say get on her knees, but that's
she need to hop.
I digress.
She need to hop on one foot.
Well, see, if she's already in the bed, she doesn't have to get on her knees.
No, listen. If you want to be well kept, I mean, because listen, I well keep the women that I'm with. That's what, I'm the 100% guy. I'm not the 50-50. So I'm gonna keep a person well, because I got to be well kept. I live a well kept lifestyle. If you it ain't like I'm a downgrade my lifestyle because I bring a woman in the mix. So I bring a woman in the mix. We all gonna be well kept. If she happen to have children, then the kids are going to be well kept. But here's what's important: to keep me. See, it's one thing to get me, but to keep me and to be able to make sure you remain well kept well into your old age, you got to be ready to do everything that my program it requires. You got to do everything that my program requires, especially if you want me to keep you. If I need to keep you, to make sure that you can do what you want to do, whether you want to work or not, whether you want to play all day or not, whether you just want, you got to do everything that's necessary to make sure that I'm able to continue to keep you. And you got to keep my stress levels low at all times. I got to keep my stress. I don't want to argue with you. What did you say earlier, Wes? Because I think you coming over here with you. I think you want a red lightsaber. You had said something about, you had said something about, I don't need no, I don't, it was basically saying, I don't want to hear no talk back. It's something like that. It was something like that. It wouldn't, I mean, I'm not going real Ike Turner with it, but I'm just basically, you were like, you know what, just listen, this is what we need to do. I don't want to hear no pushback, because pushback is stress to men.
Right.
That's what I said. Learn, practice cooperation.
So if you're going to give me pushback and I got to explain shit and I got to go through all of that just for you to understand, and half the time that a lot of women want to be explained to, it makes no difference whether you know or not. It's like, why do you want to know? Or you just want to know, but it won't make a difference if you knew anyway. It's not like you're not writing a check, or you're not sweet. Why you want to know how I'm building the roof? Why do you need to know the materials and all the shit? You're not coming up there and you're not going to be swinging no hammer. So why do you need to know? But we don't want that kind of stress. We just want you to know that you're going to have a nice, safe, I just need you to know you getting ready to have a brand new roof on the house. And can you make sure that I'm hydrated while I'm working on it? Go ahead.
I'm gonna forget this if I don't jump in. You just gave me a brilliant idea. You know what she could work on? You know what she could practice? Literally,
what
she should practice. And this is hard. I mean, but when we go to the gym, it's hard. We're not in there playing. For NFL players, when they go to training, it's hard work. And so the hard work for her, the training, the practice for her could be whether in whatever spaces that she operate or move in, regardless of the individual, she could practice listening and doing. The random guy that she doesn't give a shit about, the random guy at the job, her boss, where she might normally give a little pushback or whatever, she could just start practicing using all the guys in her life to practice what it feels like to bite your tongue, to just listen and move. Sounds silly, but she would develop some discipline. So when she gave a shit about somebody, it would become easier. It would be more natural for her to do, and she could deal with the feelings of. She'd have an opportunity to deal with those feelings of what it's like to have to bite your tongue. And Shan, we come from the military. We know exactly what we grown ass men, and you telling me when to go to bed, when to get up, when I can shit. Like,
and I can't say nothing back.
But we had to learn that. And that made us better leaders, right? Being able to learn how to follow without pushback, without questions. It's a hard thing, but that's one thing that she could. That's what she could practice.
And you know what's really crazy, Wes? I literally just said the same thing about submission. Listen or do what you're being told without thought. And I want to highlight Carla's comment. She said, in my opinion.
Wait. So you wanted to blindly follow you, just like
No. I mean,
see,
not like.
That's what they're gonna say. They're gonna say, "Oh, you just want a yes, girl. You just want her to just yes, yes, honey."
No,
like I'm going to the moon.
Here's the thing. Part of it. I mean, honestly, if you're a Christian woman, it almost is yes. I mean, I know that most modern women won't agree to that, but if you're a Christian woman, the Bible says to submit to your husband as unto the Lord, which means that when you're submitting to him, you're doing this as a reflection of your relationship to God. And how many times do you question God when he says that you need to go and do this? So if you don't question God, why are you questioning your current man-made leader? We're not going to get into that because that's a whole nother biblical conversation that I don't want to break down. Real quick, before I say that, I want to highlight Carla's comment. She said, in my opinion, women cooperate with men they want and they like. And that's the problem. You're being selective with your being. You want to give it to somebody that you like instead of existing this way. Why can't you exist this way? That's
which
the
speaks to
problem.
why are you fucking with somebody? And see, that's what I know we're not talking about this topic, but one of the things that somebody asked me was, Shan, how do y'all expect women to keep their body count low if men is actually literally wanting to have sex after the first or second date? So if I'm supposed to screw everybody I go on a first or second date with, then my body count's gonna grow. But then you want me to have a low body count. My response was, well, the answer is don't go on dates with somebody that you don't want to have sex with. Period. What's happening is you ladies are spending time with men that you have no sexual attraction to. You know that he's not gonna get nowhere, but you'll still go out on a date with him.
Want
You
those
still go to
foodie
dinner.
calls.
Yeah, those foodie calls. You have no problem wasting his time because you're coming up on a yummy meal or something to take a picture for your gram, whatever the fuck. But you're spending time. But if you stop doing that, then everything starts to work out. Well, I won't hardly go out on dates then because I don't meet too many people. Good, stay your ass at home. So like you're saying now, Chris, is yeah. What did Carla say? Let me go see. Carla had said, where did it go? Let me scroll up. In my opinion,
She
women cooperate with men they want and like, then you should only deal with, Carla, men you want and like. Oftentimes, you ladies are dealing with men that you don't want, and you ladies are dealing with and calling and talking to and asking for help. And can you come help me move? And can you fix my this? And my refrigerator is leaking. And I wonder if you're dealing with men that you don't want and like. And then these guys are coming around, sitting in the friend zone, hoping to come out one day. And all of a sudden, um, you know, maybe one will come out of the friend zone, maybe one won't. But you got all this different energy and all these different men coming at you. And you're talking to them, and oh, these are my friends, and that's my play cousin, and that's my work husband, and all that shit. No, the answer is you will cooperate the way Chris is talking about with the men that you want and like, as long as you only deal with the one that you want and like.
Or
and,
Shan,
and here's her
or worse.
here's her next comment real quick, right? Which I think is
Let me say one
crazy.
thing, Chris.
Yeah,
I just want to drop one
on,
thing
Chris.
to what Shan just said. And then Rob, I know you've been waiting. Just super quick. Or worse, Shan, she in dealing with those guys and entertaining those energies, one of those guys slips through the cracks, steals her heart, or as you would say, and next thing you know, now she's got feelings, and now she's having to deal with submitting to someone she didn't respect, she didn't look at in that light, but now they have a piece of her that she's attached to, or they have that attachment, and now it's a problem. Go ahead, Rob. I'm sorry.
And by the way, he got her pregnant.
Carla, please stop being a chat warrior and come up here and talk to us tonight.
Chris, grab your book, the vetting book. Chris, hold it up one time real fast.
Absolutely.
So what Shan was talking about, a lot of people are going to come back at Chris, he just wants you to listen pretty much without thought. If you do your vetting properly and you get to the point to where you marry somebody that you know is God-fearing, and
pop your shit, Rob.
You won't have any issues with going ahead and saying, you know what? I don't have to think about it. I know you got me like that.
That's my exact point.
I'm not going to say that I totally agree with Shan with the whole sex thing, because I'm like, I agree when he says only entertain the people that you would actually want to have sex with. I kind of agree with that, but I don't think that it's a determinant, like you should just go out and have sex with everybody. Keep your body count low. We shouldn't require women to have sex with us in order for us to feel like they're the one, or we should date them, or it's a long-term thing. That's my opinion on it. But let's get back to the combo.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what I want to say. Carla said that
I'm not talking about what Carla said. She ain't pulling up, then we ain't talking about her.
No, I'm only real fast.
Carla's our OG supporter, and she don't even pull up. She don't get to be. We ain't gonna go off of her.
I ain't been up one.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna hit it real quick, right? Because she said men don't treat women the same, and that's the problem. You don't have a standard. Every woman that I come in contact with, I treat them the exact same way, because how I treat you is a part of my character. How I treat you is a part of my character. If I don't want to deal with you, guess what? I'm going to tell you, hey, listen, this is not what I like. This is not what I'm interested in. I'm going to tell you that because to Shan's point, I'm not going to deal with a woman I don't want to be with because I don't have to. I don't have to get the woman that likes me just because she likes me.
Or
I don't
realize,
have to.
or realize that if a man is treating you less than what you expect him to treat you, maybe realize that you're not that special to him at that particular moment in time.
And your vetting is off. You think that you're up here. Really, you're not. Like, you think that you can get the man that you deserve? You got to be better than the rest of the competition. You got to compete.
The other side of that, maybe the man.
Let me get off my horse on that one.
Both those two sides.
Anyway, Shaheed, Colin, you want to chime in on that one?
No.
Yeah.
Want to bounce, but be gone, be out. All right. So our second question. Love you, Carla. Don't be texting me later talking about.
There was a lot of cap, Carla. There was a lot of cap.
What's cap, Shan?
No, it's Shahid's turn. Go ahead, Shahid.
Oh no, I didn't have a y'all pretty much summed it up.
Oh, it's Colin's turn. Go ahead, Colin.
Yeah. Where's the cap, Shan?
Yeah, I don't have anything.
Shan.
Next question.
Next question. Jermaine asks, does sex too soon ruin the chance of a fulfilling relationship? I thought that was a woman that asked that, Shan.
Never mind.
No, that email came from Jermaine. It's a dude. The dude is wondering, maybe he's asking, should he fucking bring sex to, like, dildos to his girl because she might not want to fuck no more afterward.
No. I think it said sex too soon, not tools.
Oh, the sex. Did I type it wrong? Okay, let me fix it.
You sure did. Yeah, the sex too soon ruined the chance of a good relationship. I don't think so.
So that was kind of
sex on the first date. Sex on the first date.
Go ahead, Colin.
I was gonna say I think this is actually leaning into what Robert was saying on that last question, as far as what he doesn't necessarily agree with, because I want to say we talked about this before.
Yeah,
we talked about this last week, and
Shan, see, that's why I said Shan getting the questions wrong.
But
I ain't gonna talk too bad about you, Shan.
Yeah, with me personally,
stop the cap.
Me personally, I don't think you should. This is just me, of course. I don't think you should be giving sex on the first date, especially coming from the standpoint. What's going on with Robert? Hey, Robert, you upside down, bro?
He fixed it.
All right. But especially with my situation and everything, because the long distance relationship, we were forced to get to know each other on a mental. Robert, you okay down there, bro? We was forced to get to know each other on a mental and spiritual level, so that definitely held a lot of weight in me and my girl's relationship. So, but even before then, I just never led. I never led with sex. Who is that coming from? Robert?
That can't be. That can't be me.
I
I think that's Wes.
Wes.
That ain't me. That ain't me.
Chris, you want to reach out to Wes with your technical support again? But yeah,
that ain't me. I'm good.
I ain't gonna say nothing much more on it, but that's all I want to say. But go ahead.
It's Robert.
I don't know, but
it's Robert.
It wasn't me.
Robert, you're choppy. I'm telling you, it's you.
Over there talking through a bag of potato chips.
And now you have no sound at all.
I thought somebody was crumbling the water bottle.
Yeah,
I put it on.
He can't hear you, Robert.
I put it on mute. That's why you couldn't hear me. You can hear me now.
Nor do we want to hear you, Robert.
Yeah, and the crumbling came back.
Are you on Bluetooth?
Yeah, Robert, you need to go out and come back in. So my answer to the sex too soon is that I think that, and I actually heard a dating coach say it, and I thought it was so important. Some people put value on sex, right? They esteem sex like, oh, it's this
And that's the problem.
thing. Some people put value on sex.
All right,
Right?
Shan, let's just boot Robert off the show completely.
You got all kinds of feedback, you know. Got an echo. I mean, I know you want to hear my voice, but I mean, come on.
Robert, get
Only
off
for the women.
Robert, just get off the 3G hotspot.
He on AOL.com, bro. Robert on AOL, bro.
And remember, Robert started off with that damn AKG mic and shit. He had all this shit all fancy. It was the worst sound we had.
Man. And so anyway, so the way that the lady, the dating coach was talking about it, she said, prostitutes don't put a value on sex other than the financial amount. They don't have this psychological attachment to sex. They have sex with the John or with whatever they call the guy, and it's on to the next one. They don't think about it in the way that regular people who are not prostitutes think about sex, because they don't put the same type of value. The thoughts that they're thinking about sex is not like, oh, this is my most precious gift. Your most precious gift is not sex. And am I telling you to go out and give it away to everybody? That's not what I'm telling you, but I am telling you that's not your most precious gift. Your most precious gift is your time, your energy, your essence, your being. That's what's most valuable. Those are the things that you can't get back, right? Now you can't take your sex back per se. Rob, you gotta,
Robert,
Rob sounds like
pull up on you, Robert.
Y'all remember when you had to put in the what is that cord that you used to plug into the end of the microphone, and if you put it at the end, it like makes it static. Whatever that cord is, that's what it sounds like.
But yeah, I just want to add this that how you start the relationship is setting that foundation. So if you are putting precedence on sex, like Chris said, it's like you're pretty much setting that foundation. So when that runs dry, what are you falling back on? Because the foundation is what you fall back on when everything else in a relationship fails. So
right. So if you put a huge emphasis on sex, and that's what your only focus is, like I've met women that say, "Oh, I'm not going to have sex right away." I don't care. Just because I don't have sex with you, I can have sex or I cannot have sex. I enjoy sex.
Can you have sex in the first? Can you have sex in the first week of meeting somebody?
I've had sex on the first night. I've had sex in the first week, first month.
Well, I don't mean one night stands. I don't mean one night stands.
No. I've had sex in the first week.
So you can give us a variety then, Chris. So what differences have you noticed in your past relationships from day one, first week, first month? What differences in your relationships have you seen?
So I can say I was in a relationship with somebody, and we had sex within the first month, and we were together for about a year. What happened is I learned later on to vet better, and so the relationship ended up dissolving. I've had sex with somebody that I met within the first week, and I was properly vetting them, and sex wasn't my focus. My focus was to get to know the person, to learn their behaviors, learn their lifestyle, learn them, learn their character, learn their habits, learn just everything, just study them. And that person that I dated for 4 months, although we're not dating anymore, I learned a lot because my focus wasn't sex. So for me, it doesn't matter if it's, if the relationship lasted a year, relationship lasted a month or 3 months or 4, my focus is to get to know you.
Excuse me, sir.
Yep.
Sorry. So was the 1 week one the 4 month one, sir?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Continue.
Yep. So we lasted for 4 months.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Could you tell us about the 5-minute one?
There was never a 5-minute one.
It was an hour.
Uh, the our person, we met in a dating group. We
What's the
agreed to
ID?
go out to dinner. We chatted through Facebook Messenger. We agreed to go out to dinner. And we went to Carrabba's. And she was like, "Look, I really didn't come here for the food. Pick a place." That was it. That was
Chris.
it.
So Chris, the 1 hour
It didn't
one.
last though.
How long did the
I
1
mean,
hour one last, Chris?
how long? I mean, I don't know. I hit maybe a couple more times, but I knew what it was. I wasn't betting that person.
Okay, so I have the
I knew what it was.
So the one that happened within 1 month
You taking notes?
lasted a year. The one that happened within 1 week lasted for 4 months. The one for 1 hour equaled, we don't know.
No, I knew what it was. She was a jump off.
Okay, so that didn't last.
No, it didn't last. And let me jump in here with this before we close out our segment. If you have a question that you want to ask as we kind of wrap up this topic, the fellas can still chime in. If you have a question, you want to join in by coming and hitting the link in the comments. Go to call.aabma.live. Make sure that you turn your camera on and you close out the YouTube. So you're definitely welcome because we have that particular part as well, called the hot seat. If you want to ask any of us a question, want to ask all of us a question, here's your opportunity to join the show. The show is called Ask a Black Man Anything. We do look forward to the questions that are emailed to us at questions@aabma.live. But as well, if you have a question that you want to ask us live, feel free to come up, or you want to be a part of the conversation. We don't have to just sit here and just ramble on for hours. We're looking to support.
Okay, so with our analysis, it looks like the one that held off, the one where the sex came a lot later, it looks like that had the longest time frame, whereas the ones that lasted or was shorter, they lasted a shorter time. So would that be a correct analysis, sir?
It will be an analysis that I learned to vet better.
Okay.
So the timing has nothing to do with it. After my 1 year relationship ended, after 1 year relationship ended in 2020, I learned to start vetting better. I learned to become a better person, learn to accomplish things on my own. So that I can put out a better product meaning the me that I present to women is a better product.
That you present to women?
The me, not the meat.
Oh, I thought you said the meat that you present to women. It's a product now. For you. You're a product now. Okay, I see you, player.
I mean, where did we get this guy from? I'm grateful. He keeps his shirt on today.
So Chris, basically that time span didn't make a difference, is what you're saying.
Not to me, it is.
In my opinion, in 2022, in all communities, Black, white, Asian, or Hispanic, sex too soon does not any longer. I think it did maybe in the past, but it does no longer ruins the chance of a fulfilling relationship. I don't think so. I have okay, I've been married twice divorced. Tell you I'm friends with both wives. Both of my ex-wives, we had sex relatively soon. One of them 19 days after we met. Married her. Head over heels in love. There was a woman I chased. She was about a little over 10 years ago, maybe almost 15 years ago. I chased her for 2 years. This is back in my simp days, right? When I was this super beta simp nigga and was just doing whatever I needed to do to get chicks. I chased this one chick for 2 years, man. When I finally got her,
I resemble that comment, but continue, sir.
when I finally got her, didn't last, but maybe 2 months. We're still friends, been friends, and we're really close friends actually, but the relationship wasn't there. It just wasn't there. And I chased her for 2 years. Courted her for dinners and all of that. 2 years solid. One of my best relationships that I've ever been in. We had sex the very first night that we laid eyes on each other. The first time we laid eyes on each other, that night we was fucking. And that was one of my best relationships. So I don't think sex too soon these days. I gotta add that part. I gotta add that caveat. Sex too soon these days ruin the chance of a fulfilling relationship. So if the person that sent the email in is listening, I think you'll be okay. It's so many other things that are important in a relationship today, above and beyond sex, that's gonna make it last long, than worrying about if you guys are fucking after your first week or two of watching Netflix together. It's too much. It's too many other red flags in today's society that you got to worry about than if you guys are having sex too soon. I want you to be safe, right? Men, I want you to have some discipline with the dick. Don't be shooting up clubs and all that. Be careful, ladies. Don't be too promiscuous. But if you do find somebody that and all the cylinders are firing and shit, and things are starting to line up, and it's not just straight up, what word am I looking for, you guys? Where you like somebody so much,
Like an obsession.
not obsession,
Infatuated.
Endorphins?
infatuated. Thank you,
Oh,
thank you.
okay.
And it's not just straight up infatuation. Then don't put too much in, because don't put too much on. Oh my God, we had sex so soon. I think now we're not gonna love each other, or I think it's gonna be, or we weren't friends first because we were already fucking too. So don't worry about that. I don't think that's so much the case. That's me
And
though.
I absolutely agree with you, brother. Most of my relationships, to be honest, man, now this is wild. I'm gonna be transparent. I'm sure I can think of a couple, but I haven't had many relationships uh, where we weren't having sex within the first 3 times at the most of being in one another's presence. But
At the most,
most times though, it was the first time that we were in one another's company. That
that
may
was
not
my
have always been the first time that we communicated, aside from the actual, if I met someone somewhere, whatever case is. That's probably true for my for both of my marriages, that we met and that we had sex early on. Um, and certainly one of my, to your point, one of my best relationships, uh, if I'm not mistaken, we had sex the first
Somebody
night
mute.
that we were in one another's company. It
same
wasn't the
here.
first time that we, yeah, and
Same here.
and
And it
and
wasn't the
we,
first time we talked. We talked a few times on the
right,
phone. We text, but when we finally connected, we was fucking, and that was one of the
right,
best and longest relationships, and one of the most best ones I've ever been in.
and we're and we're
And then
and we're we're like
with
best
my wife,
friends
even
now.
my ex-wife, with that I had, we 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 in fact, when I like my last wife, I hope she didn't watch this episode. When I met her, I didn't talk to her. I met her at an event. I didn't talk to her for 5 days after the event. So it was really just 2 weeks we had sex. And I fell head over heels for her, in love with her.
Yeah, yeah.
And we was laughing we was busting jokes today because my son was ankles was ashy, and she was saying that he get all his ashiness from me. So we're friends, right? But the reality is the sex came soon. And again, like
Yeah.
I'm saying, one of my most coveted relationships is sex the first time we actually hooked up. So I don't think I agree with you, Wes.
Hey man, where
Now,
can I sign up for one of those red thingies that
uh,
you Negroes like to swing?
Red Saber.
Hey, you gotta be vetted for that.
yeah, 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 yeah. We're not
We
letting
can't
niggas in
swing
the
it on the
club
first night. I can't what?
Nah,
because
nah.
y'all niggas be chameleons too.
These We got a lot of trolls.
We
up in
already
here.
know what Shaheed feels about this shit. He ain't got the answer to that. Shaheed smashing right away.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not, but I mean, like, I'm with you, Shane. Like, one of my best relationships was first night our first date. Like, that was one of my best relationships.
Mm-hmm. But again, and this is to the ladies, because it's important that you guys protect that vagina of yours.
Right.
That you don't deal with nobody that you don't think that you have a connection with. Don't deal with ladies, you guys. That used to work. That used to work 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Go out on as many dates as you possibly can. Date 3-4 guys a week. You went to get sushi with one guy and had a great conversation. You went to a steakhouse with another guy and then went to the movies after. Then you went salsa dancing with another guy. None of them you really liked. I mean, you thought they were cute, but you didn't really. No, fuck that. Those days are over, ladies. Those days are over. You do not go to sushi. Do not go to the steakhouse. Do not go salsa dancing. Do not go for a ride along the coast. Do not go to Vegas. Back in my simp days, I took a chick to Vegas, man. No, I don't want to tell that story here. Anyways, there was a time where women would deal with the man and even go on vacations with him, and she was not sexually attracted to him. Ladies, don't do that no more. Now, only give your time and your energy and your effort from 2022 and beyond to somebody that you are actually interested in and you actually have a sexual attraction to. Now, the pushback that women give is, well, how do I know I like him? Because I'm mental. I'm a sapiosexual. I need to know what he's talking about and how I'm going to do that unless I go on a date. And when we go on our first date, then he may say something that I don't like, or he may do something that I don't like. You know what it is? Then FaceTime. That's why I'm saying 2022. That's why I emphasize today's date, because you can get to know somebody well in advance. We got telephones today, unlimited calls. When I was growing up, the shit was 13 cents a minute, and that was your home phone, and you had to have a long ass spiral cord that went from one room to another. Now we got phones, we got FaceTime. You can talk to people. You can learn about them on their Instagram. You can go to their Facebook and see what kind of family they have. You can learn so much from somebody without actually going on a date. And if the things that you do, especially if you get Chris's book about the vetting people, you get Chris's book, you apply the principles in that book, you start deep diving into somebody. By the time you go on your first date, you'll know if you want to give up the draws or not.
Yo, Shan, man, that resonates with me so much, man. Listen, I've been saying this forever. I don't know who the hell in 2022 is going on dates with someone and they haven't FaceTime with them.
Right.
And because by the time we get to the date, if you take advantage of the technology, you can erase all of those conversations. You can erase all of those conversations about all those conversations about who's am I going to pay for the date, and is the meal going to be expensive? You can get rid of all of that and not worry about what you're investing in, because you know who you're investing in. By the time I go on a date, we will have spent enough time that we already know that we're in sync. We already know that we are like-minded. We already know that we're attracted to one another even. And so now I'm not going on the date to try to get to know her. Sure, I'm going to collect data. We're always going to be getting to know each other. But instead of going on a date to try to get to know her, I am going on a date to enjoy her. And she enjoyed me.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? If you're vetting properly and you're having conversations leading up to it, you're not asking me what I do for a living on the first, when we're at the first date. You've already found that out in the conversation, in our first conversation, right? You've already found that out. You're not asking me what my favorite color is. What do I like to eat? You're not asking those things in the first date. On the first date, we're having conversation from the week of us having a good banter-filled enjoyment, good conversation. We talk about your day, your likes, your dislikes. We just are having good fun. And by the time we get to the date, we're just enjoying each other. Why? Because we've talked long enough before we got to a date. And so I have a thing. I typically don't go on a date with somebody that I haven't talked to for at least 5 to 7 days. That's just across the board. And the reason why I don't, because what's going to happen is in the first 3 days or the first 24 hours, if I'm noticing that you're having question, oh, well, what is this? And what is that? Nah, I'm good. I'm not taking you out. I'm okay. If it's just back-to-back questions, my famous saying is, I am not applying for a mortgage, so don't ask me back-to-back questions because, you're not a lender.
Yeah, just real quick to piggyback off Shan's point. Like I had a friend and she was complaining about like, man, I gave this guy some, I had sex with him and now he just won't leave me alone. It was just sex. And I'm like, well, duh. I'm like, you gave him the sex, but he valued it, he appreciated it, but now he want to get to know you because he's really into you now. Where you was just throwing him a little, you know what I mean? Here you go. And now you don't like him as much as, you know what I mean? So I tell women all the time, like, man, just lower the price of the pussy, because if that's your that's your most valuable asset, if somebody sees that that's your most valuable asset, you guarding that with more, energy and effort than you do your heart, your mental, and your like time. That's why your women, they get their heart broke so much because they so busy guarding this, and your heart just getting stepped on. So it's like, but I mean, I get it. Women, they traditionalism is so, such a thing. They can't just, you know what I mean? Like, believe it or not, like, as men, do we love sex? Absolutely. But that's not, you know what I mean? That's not the only thing we want from a woman. But if you show us that's all you have to offer, or that's the best you got, yeah, that's what we want. We want the best. On this stage, I want the best from all my brothers. Whatever they have, they whether it's, Shan's business savvy, Wes's wisdom, Colin's style, Chris's charm, whatever it is, like, I'm trying to pull the best from everybody. So if you offer that up as your best, that's what people are going after.
Cool. Chris?
So Colin has wisdom and Wes has charisma. I mean, Colin has style and Wes has wisdom. Oh, okay.
Shit, Wes got style, charisma, wisdom, isdom.
He's all in one. All in one.
He's an all-in-one computer. All right, so I want to give way just in case we have the hot seat. If we have any questions that you all want to come up and ask any of the fellas, you want to hit the link in the comments, call.aabma.live. We'll give you a couple of minutes if you want to come and join the conversation. If you have a question that you want to ask any of these fellas, ask Wes, well, what number dye does he use to dye his beard gray? That question, and he still hasn't answered yet. So, or if you want to ask him, why he's kept his shirt on this week. Maybe he hadn't worked out, in a couple of days. He might be sick because he was trying to fight off the Rona. So we're happy that he's keeping his shirt on. Do we have anybody in the queue?
Nope.
Cool. So with that being said, man, I think we did what we were supposed to do. I don't know what happened to Robert and what was going on. It was his analog, man. We got to get him fixed next week. I enjoyed you all, man. I enjoyed you guys coming to this.
Hey, man.
Coming to the show and participating and commenting, liking our show. Make sure you do the most important thing. Take a screenshot of this, put it in your social media pages, and share it, right? And make sure you tag Ask a Black Man Anything on Instagram if you put it there. And we'll go ahead and tag all of the fellas and we'll share it. We want to see some social proof and see some commentaries from you and as you share our pages. We appreciate you. We love you. We're going to have a great night. Fellas, do your outros.
Hey, man. Yeah. Hey, yo. Since Rob is not here, I got to get some shit off my chest, man. So the young brother kind of looks to me like a mentor, right? So I'm pretending to be this good guy, all this Yoda shit. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm sick of that shit, man. How can I be down, man?
Did that work, Shan?
All of that, you know.
Did that work?
It didn't work.
Women are
It didn't work.
valuable, and women
So
are
that nigga
faithful.
was,
And
don't listen
you know,
to because this nigga was simping in Clubhouse 2 nights ago. So don't listen to him.
listen,
I'm still
Clubhouse
interested.
2.
Where's the cap, San? So you know, call it out. I mean, where's the cap?
It's time to go, bro. It's time to go.
I mean, we got a couple minutes, bro.
man, can I
No,
just
we
be
don't.
down,
We are
man?
6 minutes over.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, brother.
That means Colin got to go to sleep.
Hey, look, I'm
about to jump on this Netflix.
Happy Black History Day.
Hey, man.
Do something important for the Black community, everybody, man.
Hey, man.
All right. I'm with you.
Black History
The outro,
365.
yes.
It's not just limited to a month. It's everything we do today is writing history for the next generation. So Black History 365 ain't no month.
Yeah, but to you this month you get to be blackity black.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do your outros, Wes.
Man, I'm just a bad guy. I'm really a terrible human being, man. I don't, you know, I think women should submit. What else? Shan, give me a script, Shan. I know you got a script in your pocket, baby. Colin, go ahead, brother.
Lakeisha talking about I like what she talking about. They don't make them like that no more.
Yeah.
Yes, you know she's pining for you. She said she's leaving her
Lakeisha on the other end. She on the other side of the country.
Where's she at, Shan? She like to get flued out.
She in Chicago, bro. She in Chicago. She's
That'd be
fine
hard.
too. She fine. Y'all don't know if y'all ever seen her. She fine as a motherfucker, but she's on y'all side of town.
Well, she checking for you, Shan.
Facts.
I'm in LA, and I'm in LA.
Ain't nothing
that
but a
sounds
plane
an
ride
excuse.
away.
Man, please.
I mean that sounds an excuse instead of a reason. You know, she like to cook. I mean, Shan, you could change that. Hey. All right, Colin, do your outro. That was fast. Shan said, "I'm not here for that."
Peace, brother.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm Shahid Muhammad 76. On all social medias, P0STA. Hit me up, ladies.
So Shan, is she fine? What's going on?
She in Chicago.
Shan,
So the airplane don't go to LA?
I need my woman on demand nightly.
Move her in, man. Move her in.
And she not willing to move to LA.
Oh, okay. Tasha said she needs a
This
sugar
is where
daddy.
we need one of those.
Do you got sugar or
We need one of
Splenda?
those clubs. You need to get your club out, Shannon. You bop her over the head, right?
Lakeisha, you gonna move to LA? Hey, she said she moving, Shan. She wanna be a well-kept woman. She gonna get on the program. Yeah.
Tasha said she need a sugar daddy. I'm a sugar daddy.
You better ask if she got Splenda or if she got sweetener or Sweet and Low. I think she got Sweet and Low, Shan. I don't think she got no real sugar.
Shannon ain't trying to get no diabetes.
Facts.
ladies.
Tasha said she from Cali, Shan. She said, "What's up?" She said, "Pull up."
Thank y'all for tuning in tonight on Ask a Black Man Anything Radio.
Colin, you taking a page from me, ain't you?
This is the Shan hour. This is the time, ladies, to shoot your shot at Shan.
Man, it's a lot of cap on YouTube from these women, bro. They be saying stuff because they nice and safe at home behind the keyboard.
Keyboard warriors.
Lakeisha, I'm gonna open a Zoom.
All of them.
We're gonna jump in the Zoom and let's see you tonight, Lakeisha.
Karen.
Let's see you pull up on Shan.
Miss Carrington.
No, we don't need no AABMA after dark.
They just be talking. They just be talking, bro. Lakeisha especially.
Ladies, y'all have 30 seconds to prove Shan wrong.
Wes would be down for AABMA after dark.
Ooh, she said no cap over here.
We'll see next week if she do anything.
Cam up, Lakeisha.
They're not.
Facts.
Lakeisha.
She'll cam up. She'll cam up. She fine. I told y'all she fine. She only talk that talk because she way on the other side of the country. If she was next door, she wouldn't be talking all that shit.